mighty Big Brother's been on the side. What a show again! What a show! Can you not hurry up?
Yes, boss.
Can you not? Just a bit quicker.
No, boss.
A bit quicker. I'm sorry about this. See, we've had a slight problem because the rain has been so heavy for the last couple of days. We thought we had a hole in the roof, but it turns out it was just Lauren mocking the territory again. Anyway, go on, shoo! Go away, we've got a show to do. Don't know why I cocked my leg like an animal then. Right, you're in luck. You're in luck. The spillage has been dealt with, and now it's time to meet our panel, who I promise are so much better than my jokes tonight. It might be raining outside, but don't be blue, because our first guest is a man who really is my one love. When he's in the BBOTS studio, I breathe easy. So let's hope his visit tonight doesn't fly by. It's Duncan James.
That was good, that was good.
Yeah, just for you, just for you.
Good.
My next guest is about to send our street cred through the roof. He is straight from Radio 1 Extra. He is all bangers and no mash in it. He also loves carrot cake. Please make some noise with Nick Bright.
She read my Twitter bio. She read my Twitter bio.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I have seen it.
All the research.
And finally, completing this epic sausage fest tonight
Easy now.
is a TV legend that really has done it all. From full frontal, you know, even giggling up the stairs as well, to dancing on ice, although not at the same time, because that would just be dangerous. So please, be upstanding. Come on. The almighty Cheggers!
I'm so embarrassed now.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sit down.
That's
just
very
enjoy
kind
it.
of you. I was just avoiding their Lauren's spot there.
I know, you don't want to slip over on it, do you? So listen, tonight we saw the phobias task all happening in the house. Keith, do you think it was good teamwork? Or, I know there was a bit of hoo-ha, obviously, with a few people, but as a team, did they work well?
Well, I mean, I remember Gary saying, like, together we all achieve more, but to be honest with you, I think it's more like together we all thrive. Because there are a few funny people in that house, and now they're all making sides, aren't they? They're all sort of like... I'm not too sure whether the teamwork's there anymore.
Yeah. And we did hear them saying, didn't we? You know, Gary obviously didn't take kindly to what Dee had to say.
I love their egos.
I can't believe this is the first time ever I'm meeting Keith Chegwin, and he is in love with Big Brother just as much as I am. It's
I can't get enough of it. I want to wind on till tomorrow now.
Oh, no, let's just bask in the glory of tonight, Keith.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, we'll get on to tomorrow. So three housemates, we saw them take their seats in the chairs of fear. Edel was faced with a belly button. Duncan, how do you think she got on?
I think it should have been like a real belly button, though.
So do
you know what I mean? It was like...
Yes.
You could have found a nice, big, fat, hairy person. Well, he's not big and he's not fat. And, are you hairy?
I've got a big belly.
He's got...
Never say things like that on this show because we will ask to see it.
No.
I thought it was a bit of a letdown, though. It was like a plastic thing, wasn't
I know
it?
what you mean. You did kind of want... Did you want a real belly button for Edel? Yeah?
Yeah, no, seriously, she got her head right in there, you know, with
Did
a
you feel
big...
cheated?
Yeah, definitely. She should have really got in there with a real big man and a hairy belly button.
And you know, like...
She's enjoying that thought a little bit too much.
It's the one bit of TV gold we've got from her so far, because she's been so boring.
Well, I think that's the thing as well. She has been quite quiet at the minute as well. So to see her do a really great part of that task would have been really nice.
Yeah. You want to stick your head in a real belly button and come out with some fluff. Do you know what I mean? Covered in it.
And why is it always blue?
Yeah, I don't know.
Me either. Now, Ricky got the gift of gunge. Nick, what were you hoping would pop out?
I can only think about Keith getting his belly out now, to be honest. I'm struggling to think of anything else.
Don't.
But I really would have liked to seen Ricky's mate, sorry.
Keith?
Yeah, not you. Not you again. Ricky's
popping out.
mate from Geordie Shore, any of them. It would have been good to see them stick their head out and say, please stop pursuing something that is not coming to you. Lauren's not interested. She's not interested.
So you think that's never going to happen?
Oh, it's a showmance and a half, isn't it? Come on, guys. It's a showmance and a half.
I don't
terrible.
think it's ever going to happen.
No.
You don't know?
Well,
we're going to talk about this later.
all right,
We'll
all
take
right.
that later. Let's carry on with phobias. How would you, Duncan, have got on with the whole smelling part of the phobias?
You need to be in a tour bus with Blue. I mean, there's some of them smells that we have in that bus.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been a walk in
Boys
the park.
can deal with smells, can't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can cope.
yeah.
We cope really well with smells. No, we do.
The green
Yeah.
room was kicking
Yeah.
a bit. It was, a bit.
I've got to
going
say, I
someone
came in there when two of you were in there. I was like, I'm not going back with
Yeah.
Duncan around. No way. So the task obviously took a slightly different turn when Dee, Frenchie and Kelly had to answer a few questions, obviously, that were in connection with the house and who they thought of what. I didn't say that right, but you know exactly what I mean.
We're with you.
Were you surprised, kids, by how fearless they were?
I was
they
actually,
pushed
'cause
that
I-
button to keep the peace.
Yeah, I thought Dee might have pushed the button to keep the peace. And do you know what? It's funny, because when Dee started out, I wasn't too keen on her, but now I really love her. And I loved her honesty tonight. I really enjoyed it. And I was quite surprised that none of them pressed the button. But, I mean, there was no surprise with Kelly having to go at Frenchie and Frenchie having to go at Kelly. That was sort of like, you know,
knew
part of the
those
course.
two were going to be game for saying what they
but I thought,
weren't you?
Dee thought for a second, didn't she? She put a lot of careful thought into what she was going to say.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying her.
She tried to not offend, I think, as much as you
Exactly,
can
but
not
Gary
offend
took such
while-
offence, didn't
He
he?
did,
Oh.
he really did. And she said he's taken it all too seriously, the whole game. Nick, do you agree with that? Do you think he maybe needs to lighten up a bit?
Yeah,
or?
I think a little bit. We were just talking earlier on about how Hollywood kind of A-listers, they get a little bit detached from reality. And it's almost like he has had a load of people around him saying, that's a great idea, Gary, fantastic, yes, 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 yes.
Do
And
it,
now
Gary.
It's like people are going, Gary, that's a terrible idea, or we don't like the fact you haven't had a shower, Gary. I think you should get in the shower. Like,
There's men and smells again. We have come full circle. Have
so
we not?
I think he is taking a bit serious, to answer your question. I think he could do with lightening up a bit, but I must say as well, I'm a big fan of Gary. I'm very much enjoying watching him on the show.
Yeah.
And I
He's
think
good entertainment.
He's
as well.
brilliant.
I think if he went, the
Yeah.
house would lack a massive kind of personality and, you know...
So you're all in agreement that you like Gary?
I didn't like him at first.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan of his, but I do like him to stay in the house because
Yeah.
it makes a great show for me, watching at
fantastic.
home.
He's just so
I mean, he says he's
unpredictable.
got 3 angels round him. I think they're Hell's Angels. Something going on there.
What did you? What do you think about the whole comment that Gary's taking it too? No. He is an actor. I think Gary's an actor. That's right. But is he taking it too seriously?
No, he's not taking that. You know, they're taking Gary too seriously. They keep getting upset
Yes.
about every little
Yes.
thing he does. There's no respect for the fact that he's 70 and all the stuff he's been through. They're taking him too seriously. The guy's a legend. Give him a break. Gary to win.
As he said, Frenchie didn't hold back. I don't think any of us expected her to. Would you have said, Duncan, that Kelly was the most fake?
No, I don't think Kelly's fake. I think Kelly's like one of the most real in there. Like, she's going through so much personally and stuff, and it's like all genuine. It's real. Like, you're watching her come out of herself and become Kelly, you know, right in front of our eyes. And I don't
Why
think that's been fake.
do you think Frenchie picked her then?
Because it's probably a scapegoat, you know, and I think Frenchie's just like crazy.
Whatever gave you that idea?
She's just like, you know,
She takes Nicola McLean shred to a whole new
she's a
level.
crazy bitch.
Now let's move on to Lauren. Keith, you obviously know her because you've done Dancing the Night
She's
together.
lovely.
How do you think she's getting on in there?
I think she's relieved now. No, sorry. A little bit there. Caught her swimming in the toilet earlier, but anyway. I think she's doing all right. I don't know what's gone on recently because that little chat about Ricky the other night, you know, about fancying and all that. What's going? She's sort of like.
Well,
is it a bromance? Is it a Big Brother romance type thing?
I
She's
don't
trying
know.
to create.
Well,
I mean,
no,
the winging.
I don't think
did
she
we see that?
is. She's very much kind of said he's really lovely, but I don't fancy him. But he's like a little dog on
Yeah, but
heat.
we were left with a hook the other night where she was sort of staring into the sky,
saying
wondering
maybe
about
I
it.
could.
And now Charlotte weed last time in the bed. Now she's doing it in the pool. You know?
Too much we going on, isn't
Yeah.
We go.
But she's a
Duncan?
lovely girl. I tell you, she's out of all the people I worked with on Dancing on Ice, she was the most honest and the most genuine
sweet,
and the most lovely person to work with.
Duncan, is a house romance a good idea?
Do you know what? I've actually got a friend of mine who probably would answer that really, really well. I would get him on the phone, Em, but I don't think he'd take the call.
I think he's probably avoiding us, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. Sorry,
Lee. Would you like to see how things were getting on this morning?
Yeah! Look. That's what you're going to be married to.
She's had a vision, and she's seen...
Look, cheeky little finger. See him? See it? He's good at a cheeky little finger. See that?
And it'll be about somebody in there.
Look it. Look inside like that. Then
Yeah.
You're gross.
I don't believe, I believe in that.
Why am I in love with you?
Your mind is so powerful. People
Now you're in love.
A little bit of their mind.
Oh, God.
But when you tap into that other side of your mind...
don't forget, he only eats for a short time in the day. And maybe you can organise that he eats in a separate room.
Yeah.
He has a separate bathroom, eats in a separate room. If you're going to make love, there's a bleach room that he goes, scrubs himself with bleach.
I don't, trust me. I know that'll work out.
Do you remember when he was like,
That'll be a scream with a glory hole and she'll want to wash it herself. You're not touching me.
This is George. Will Stephanie please come?
Yeah, that's funny.
I like that.
Awareness and awareness.
Gentlemen, you had a very, very masculine reaction
Oh,
to
I
that
don't know what's
clip.
going on there. I can't work it out.
Leading him on!
Leading him on.
She is leading him on, I think. Because the other night, do you remember she turned around, she said, oh, when he gets a bit older, maybe I could, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And now I think she's thinking, hang on, I'm going to, I don't know.
But George, he's so
Save the song.
sweet, though.
He is
lovely, isn't he?
He's so lovely.
But when he was doing that whole puppy dog thing earlier on, she wasn't interested.
No.
And then all of a sudden, was it last night, he kind of took a little bit of a stand.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now, she's like, oh, actually, I've decided I do like you. Oh, like, it's kind of like treat him mean, keep him keen. You know?
I think she maybe loves him but isn't in love with him.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
I think that's what it is.
That's it.
Thanks, boys, thanks. Still to come, Judy James is going to be here channeling the power of body language. But tomorrow night's the first